So you're saying that the tooth fairy is also not real? Is that?
Yeah, kind of like the Easter Bunny.
Well, hold on. No, I just got some stuff. Oh God. Hi everybody. Welcome to another episode of oh my God. I just got some really great news. Let it soak. Okay. It's Tech Talk Tuesday, and we're here on the 23rd, in case you don't own a calendar, a watch, a clock, or a computer, in which case, how are you watching this? Yeah, I've got questions. So thanks for joining us. I'm Matt, and just found out some crazy news about the Tooth Fairy. And joined by me, as always, is Neal Tardy. And he apparently knew about the Tooth Fairy.
So, I did.
So with that, let's hop into our first, get it, hop, that's the Easter Bunny reference, into the first story of the day.
Oh my God.
You're welcome. In super serious news, Apple actually just held their first, I think, ever remote worldwide developer conference and for the year, where they announced all the fun and games that are coming up for their i line, such as the iPad and iOS and iPhone and Mac OS, which is now going to be Mac OS Big Sur. Super excited about that. I'm just kidding. I don't care about the name. But really important here was that we told you so. And they are switching to ARM chips. I think this is a big deal, and I'll go on the record as saying I was a big naysayer about this. But then when I've heard the full explanation about kind of the performance the gains that they're seeing already out of their silicon, okay, I'm on board. And the fact that they're releasing kind of this pathway like they did with the PowerPC, where apps will start working basically simultaneously. For both the current Intel-based set and the new ARM-based set, I think that's huge, and that gives me some relief as a developer.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Like that was our big concern last week when we were talking about it. I think was like us having to develop multiple things for like a singular purpose, which is not fun. That's why we like to do hybrid apps instead of doing native apps.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean that's really nice to hear. I'll have to look into that performance increase. I'm curious to see what it was.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. One of the things I really like too is that they were showing off because of the ARM base, and that's the same series of chips and stuff that they're using in their iPad, the iPhones. Those apps will out of the gate just work on a Mac. And I think we've seen that coming for a while. But it's very interesting because, again, that gap between the two continues to close. And we're seeing things that were on the Mac show up, such like the Spotlight search and stuff is now a universal search, right? Slight name change, but it's now got a similar presence on iPad and the iPhone. So it's interesting to see that gulf is no longer there. So it's like, how long is it before? When can I run Xcode on iPad? That's what I want.
I mean, it's super close. I think I talked about that not too long ago.
You did.
Like it's like very close to happening, if not there. You might just have to jump through a few hoops. There we go. Like
yeah. Hoops is the Swedish version of a hoop.
Yes.
Yeah. You'll have to. I can't even do it. Like, it was just going to go from bad to worse real quick.
Right. So in what was probably the biggest gaming news of the week, Microsoft decided to shut down Mixer yesterday. This is like kind of a huge deal and rather shocking. The current plan is to transition all of the existing partners to Facebook Gaming. And yes, you heard that right, Facebook Gaming. Mixer was really Microsoft's attempt to try and compete with the giant of Twitch, which is owned by Amazon. And Mixer just really never gained the viewership Microsoft was hoping that it would to actually compete with Twitch, even with trying to take large communities such as like Ninja and Shroud from Twitch and bring them over and pay them ridiculous sums of money to do so. It just never really took off. Now, if you had any money in Mixer, you will be getting Xbox gift cards, which I find very interesting and slightly weird. But you may be thinking to yourself, what is going to happen to like Shroud and Ninja since they got paid to go over to Mixer? Well, they are effectively free agents. And they had some very massive contracts that were rumored that Microsoft paid them to come over. And Microsoft's effectively just letting them go, which is absolutely crazy to me. But yeah, so I expect to see them on Twitch here within the next couple days and with like huge return streams. So be on the lookout for those. But what I really feel for is like the small to medium sized channels and communities that have always been on Mixer, that grew up on Mixer, and now just really kind of feel like they don't have a place to go. And like that's really sad because people were building careers and like their livelihoods were like through this, and now all of a sudden Microsoft just kind of like was like, hey, we're shutting it down, sorry, and like didn't even let them know that was happening.
That's bizarre, right?
Yeah, it's super weird, especially for like a tech giant like Microsoft to pull something like this. It feels really weird. I wonder if something else was happening behind the scenes here, but yeah, this was really kind of sad because I want to see more streaming platforms and competition for Twitch, because I think it can make all of them better, because that's what competition tends to do. But it just feels like all of the services are having a hard time just pulling communities off of Twitch in general. So we'll see if some newcomer comes up and tries to take Mixer's place, but for right now, Twitch is still king.
Well, I guess that's awesome. I mean, we're streaming on Twitch. Hey, whatever. Well, that's pretty wild. I am anxious to see what happens with Ninja. I can't believe. I mean, good for him, I guess. In a way, I think as long as he cashed that check, right?
Right. I hope he did.
I hope he got that money up front.
Right.
Well, in other Apple sort of news, this is a story that I just happened across, and it blew my mind. There's no native iPad calculator app on the iPad, and it doesn't look like there's any plans for one to come. I want to let that sink in because I honestly didn't believe this. I had to go look because I thought this has to be like a troll. Like this can't be true, but it is. And so the rumor is that they were getting ready to release the iPad calculator app, but it was really just a stretched iPhone version, like they used to do, right? Like they used to kind of just say, well, if they don't have a native iPad app, we'll just let you stretch the screen. But this was in the era of Steve Jobs, and he said no, and pulled the plug on it kind of in the last minute, and it just never got prioritized again. And somehow it's 2020, and there's no calculator on the iPad. Like this is mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, I can't even believe that. Like it just feels like something so simple.
For sure. I mean, you have it literally like this is a great article. Actually, it lists it. I like the opener here. Like, what does the iPhone, Apple Watch, and MacBook have in common? Oh, they've got a calculator. Nothing on the
Apple Watch has a calculator?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, it makes me feel like I have one of those like Casio wristwatch calculators from back in the day.
Yeah.
I'll explain it to you later, Neal.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in my day, I had a wristwatch that was a
that's so crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I certainly thought that was a very interesting thing. I was just happened across when I was looking at some of the notes from Worldwide Developer Conference.
Wow. Well, I know what you were thinking, and you were thinking that I really wish that the Safari browser was faster and had better privacy.
That is exactly what I was thinking.
I just knew it. It's crazy. Well, you are in luck because Apple is reporting with their newest OS upgrade, Big Sur, that pages will load up to 50% faster that have been frequently visited, and that's 50% faster than Chrome. So that's kind of crazy, and I want to see that. But Oh, and that will not come at the expense of your battery life, which I have a very hard time believing, but okay. And you'll also be able to see what Safari is allowing and blocking from a security standpoint. So you'll be able to see what data you're sending across to the companies, which is great for privacy, which we all know I am about.
Right.
And lastly, it'll also start supporting Web Extensions API, are what a ton of Chrome extensions use. So they should just be plug and play right into Safari, and you can start using like your ad blockers and everything else. So all around great stuff if all of it's true. So yeah, don't think that I'll probably use Safari still outside of testing, but we'll see. Like, I mean, if it's that much better, maybe it maybe I have to, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I used to be I solely use Safari on the mobile, but I used to be a huge fan of it, obviously on the Mac, before I switched to Chrome, and it was only because of the extensions that they had. Otherwise, it was kind of a toss-up. But what I've really come to find is that Chrome is a memory hog, and I think it's an ongoing. People talk about this quite a bit now. I mean, it really is a hefty son of a gun, and Safari's not. It really, I don't know. And again, that affects your battery. That affects a lot of different things. But it's kind of a sleek and slim browser that's now kind of a first-class citizen again. I'm willing to give it another shot.
Yeah, I'm definitely willing. We'll see. Like I said, I'm very curious to see how the performance actually is.
Yeah.
Like those are some pretty big claims to be 50% faster than Chrome.
For sure.
And I'm not saying Chrome is like the fastest thing out there either. It's just like that's what people know. But man, like that's a bold claim to come out and say, "Yep, we're going to be 50% faster."
It's true. I mean, as long as it speeds up me browsing Facebook,
that's right.
Then that's all that really matters to me.
Well, Facebook also announced that they will be discontinuing the Oculus Go. So the Go has only been out for 2 years, to be like. So it's a very short run. It was also like the least powerful of all of the like virtual reality headsets that Facebook was selling. But it was also its most affordable, coming in at $199, I believe. So yeah, it appears that Facebook is kind of going the way of the Oculus Quest. And Go will still be adding titles through the end of the year and bug fixes and security patches through 2022. But after that, it's gone.
I mean, I like the Quest. I haven't tried it yet, or I haven't got one myself, but man, I keep like teeter-tottering on that line. Is that something that you're interested in, or?
It's just like the price point. Like I think the Quest is like almost $400.
It is, yeah.
And at that point, I think I'd just rather spend my money somewhere else.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, maybe.
Yeah. The thing that it makes me sad that I'll never look as cool as this guy right here.
Oh yes, beautiful.
On a side note, if I was looking for some great resources around, I don't know, Medicare, could you point me to any direction? Like the weirdest ads pop up for me. It's like, I don't know what that's all about. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. But with that, that's all we have for today. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Tech Talk Tuesday. If you want to read up on any of the headlines Matt and I discussed today, you can find them in the description below. And please be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the future editions of Tech Talk Tuesday. We are live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And while you're at that, go ahead and give us a follow on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We're on all of them. Thank you for that. And with that, we will see you next Tuesday.
Okay, but for real, you're talking about Santa Claus, and I'm a little concerned that...
Don't ruin this.
Oh, we'll take it offline.